Hello students. This is our third lecture on organic reaction mechanism, and in this lecture we will be studying aliphatic nucleophilic substitution, and in that we will be doing SET mechanism or SRN1 mechanism. SET mechanism means single electron transfer mechanism. So before you go into the details of this lecture, you may see the previous two lectures on these links, SN2 reactions and SN1 reactions. Uh, the single electron transfer mechanism or SET mechanism, which is also known as SRN1 mechanism, which means 1 is for unimolecular, N is for nucleophilic, R is for radical, and S is for substitution. So unimolecular radical nucleophilic substitution mechanism, and this mechanism is different from other two mechanisms, that is SN1 or SN2 mechanism. And this mechanism was discovered accidentally when alkylation of aliphatic nitro compounds by alkyl halides was being done. So in 1949, when Hess et al. They performed this reaction, wherein they tried for the alkylation of 2-nitropropane with 4-nitrobenzyl chloride, and they found that the product formed during this reaction was a C-alkylated compound, and the order of the reaction was first order reaction, and because here the nucleophile and the substrate they are involved, it was thought that the mechanism should be SN2 mechanism and it should be a second order reaction. But because this is a first order mechanism, and it was believed that some new mechanism may be involved in conversion of these two into C-alkylated compounds. Now, why we say that a new mechanism is there for this conversion? The reason is, if we go by the ordinary SN2 mechanism, then as I have told you that the reaction should be second order. And then if you see the equilibrium between these two nucleophiles, the nucleophilic oxygen anion of 2-nitropropane, because oxygen is more electronactive than carbon, then it should attack as a nucleophile to the alkyl halide. And under normal circumstances, the product formed should be O-alkylated product. Whereas in our case, what we have found is that C-alkylated product has been formed. So if the reaction takes place by SN2 mechanism, then we will get this type of product by nucleophilic substitution, which is O-alkylated product. Now, why we say that the new mechanism is there? If we see that this nucleophile 2-nitropropane uh, exists in these two forms. One is that the carbanion is at carbon, whereas the other is where oxygen is acting as a nucleophile. And when oxygen is acting as a nucleophile, then we are getting O-alkylated product through simple SN2 alkylation product. Whereas if this is the nucleophile which is attacking the alkyl halide, then we will get the C-alkylation product as the major product, and we say that this reaction is taking place by SRN1 mechanism, not by SN2 2 mechanism. So the ratio of C alkylated to O alkylated product is in the favor of O alkylated compound in case of SN2, whereas in case of SRN1 it is opposite to what we see in case of SN2. And then is that low steric hindrance present around the oxygen anion in comparison to secondary carbon anion. This also leads to the formation of O-alkylated product, whereas in our mechanism the steric hindrance does not play a role and we get C-alkylated product as the SRN1 product. Now, in the present reaction between 4-nitrobenzyl chloride and 2-nitropropane, the ratio of the product formed was found to be in favor of C-alkylated compound, and kinetics of the reaction was found to be of the first order, and this is an contradiction to SN2 wrote. There Therefore, it was proposed that the reaction involves first order radical mechanism, and in the start a single electron transfer takes place in the reaction. That is why this mechanism is also known as set mechanism or SRN1 mechanism. 1 is for first order, R is for radical, and S and N are nucleophilic substitution. So this was the mechanism suggested for the formation of C-alkylated products. So here what happens is in the first step a single electron transfer to the 4-nitrobenzyl chloride takes place. So this is our nucleophile and this is the alkyl halide 4-nitrobenzyl chloride. So what happens is that here the carbon is acting as a nucleophile and it transfers its one electron from the nucleophile to the alkyl halide, and we will have a single electron nucleophile and radical anion of the alkyl halide will be formed, and this radical anion slowly gets converted into a 4-nitrobenzyl radical and chloride ion is removed. So chloride ion is removed very slowly from here and one electron remains with the benzyl group. This is formed because benzyl free radical is a very stable free radical. So then this benzyl free radical will react with another molecule of the nucleophile, and one electron from here and one electron from here, they will form a carbon-carbon bond, right? And now we are left with this single electron. That means this type of radical anion will be formed between benzylic free radical and the nucleophile, and then this radical anion will interact with another molecule of 4-nitrobenzyl chloride, and one electron from this will be transferred to the alkyl halide, and this will become radical anion and we will get the product, that is C alkylated product will be formed. So this is how this 4-nitrobenzyl chloride is alkylated in presence of nitropropane, where a single electron transfer takes place. And here we can see that this is the slowest step, and we know that slow step determines the rate of the reaction. So in this step only thing which is involved is 4-nitrobenzyl chloride radical anion. So that is why this reaction is a unimolecular reaction, and because there is a transfer of one electron only, single electron only, that is why this is called as radical nucleophilic substitution unimolecular reaction. Then the presence of radicals, these were substantiated by the results obtaining the products in the presence of radical sequencers. So if we add radical sequencers during the reaction, what they will do is they will react with those radicals which are formed, and rate of reaction will be affected. So the main radical sequencer used was 1,4-dinitrobenzene, and when this is added in the reaction, it will strongly decrease the concentration of the free radical. So when this reaction was done, when these were introduced in the reaction mixture, the alkylation of 2-nitro propane that become second order kinetics. So what we got is when these radical sequencers were added, then the mechanism of the reaction changed from unimolecular to bimolecular, and the product was formed that was O-alkylated product. That is a normal product which is formed by SN2 reaction. So this proves that radicals, they are formed during the reactions, and when we add radical sequencers, that stops the free radical reaction, and the reaction proceeds in a normal way, that is by SN2 reaction. Then the SRN1 or SET mechanism that can occur as a chain reaction, or it can occur as a non-chain reaction. So the chain mechanism is a self-sustaining reaction, that is when one electron, we have said that the single electron transfer, that electron will react with the alkyl halide, and this electron comes from the nucleophile. So this nucleophilic electron will react with alkyl halide, and we will get radical anion of the alkyl halide. And then this radical anion of the alkyl halide will slowly get transformed into the alkyl free radical, and halide ion will be removed, and this free radical then interact with nucleophile, another molecule of nucleophile, and we will get the reaction between these two, and we will get nucleophile radical anion of the nucleophile alkyl group, and this intermediate then again react with another molecule of the alkyl halide, and one electron from this intermediate will be transferred to the alkyl halide, and this will again form a chain of this radical anion, and product will be formed. Ry is the combination of the alkyl radical and the nucleophile, and we will get the product like this. And overall, there is reaction of alkyl halide with the nucleophile anion, and we will get the product plus the halide ion. And the three steps which are there in any radical mechanism, they are initiation, propagation, and termination. So likewise, these free radicals, they can be terminated by reacting with other molecules. If it interacts with say this free radical interacts with another free radical, we will get alkanes as the product. So and the reaction will be terminated. And as you have seen that SRN1 chain mechanism is initiated by single electron transfer from a nucleophile, that is chemical catalyst, or an external electron source, to substrate which produces a radical. So this is how a chain mechanism in case of SRN1 or SAT mechanism is taking place. Then is non-chain radical mechanism. It is defined as a reaction that produces one product molecule per initiation event, and it is not self-sustaining, unlike chain mechanism which we have seen. So non-chain SRN1 reactions, they are less frequently encountered than chain SRN1 reaction. So in most of the cases where SAT mechanism or SRN1 mechanism is involved, most of the reactions, they are chain SRN1 reactions. They are only a small examples of non-chain reactions also. And a non-chain SRN1 reaction occurs in a solvent cage, that is a region of space which includes reacting species surrounded by the solvent. And within this cage, stepwise substitution occurs, and no reactive intermediates, they are left free in the solution to propagate the reaction. So that is why we will get only one product molecule per initiation event. So here what happens is one molecule of the alkyl halide will interact with one molecule of the nucleophile, and this will give one electron from here to the alkyl halide. We will get radical anion of the alkyl halide, and radical of the nucleophile will be formed, and then this radical anion of the alkyl halide will dissociate to give us alkyl radical, and the halide anion will be formed. Then this free radical of alkyl and free radical of nucleophile, they will join to give us RY product, and this will be eliminated, and that means we will get uh, one one product from one reactant molecular species, and the reaction is taking place in the solvent cage, and that is why we are getting only one product molecule per initiation event, and this reaction is not a self-sustaining reaction. And this non-chain mechanism can be differentiated from chain mechanism by adding reaction inhibitors such as radical scavenger, which we have used in the proof for establishing the mechanism of the reaction. And chain reaction will be inhibited, whereas the non-chain reaction will proceed normally, because this is involved in a solvent cage. So this is how we can differentiate between non-chain reaction and chain mechanism. So because in case of non-chain, the reactions, they are taking place within a solvent cage, they are not affected by the radical scavenger. Whereas chain in chain reaction, the radicals, they are affected by the chain radical scavenger, and rate of reaction decreases in case of chain reaction, whereas it is not affected in the non-chain reactions. Then uh, we have seen that the steric effects, they they do affect in case of normal nucleophilic substitution reactions, that is SN1 or SN2 reactions, whereas SRN1 reactions, they are insensitive to steric hindrance. For example, the reaction of para-nitrocumyl radical, this is with the isopropyl nitronate anion. This is the nucleophile lithium isopropyl nitronate anion, and this is para-nitrocumyl radical. And when this reaction is taking place by SRN1 mechanism, we know we will get the C alkylated products. So as we have seen the mechanism, single electron will be transferred from here to this, and radical anion of the alkyl halide will be formed. And then in a slow step this will be eliminated, and we will get free radical of this type, plus this will then react with another molecule of the nucleophile, and this will attack the free p orbitals present in the free radical. And we can see that because of the presence of this orbitals in a perpendicular fashion, there is no effect of steric hindrance on these reactions, and the nucleophile can easily approach these free p orbitals which are perpendicular to the plane of the molecule, and this will interact with this. One electron will be transferred to this, and we will get a radical anion of the alkyl radical and the nucleophile. Then this radical anion will further react with one more molecule of the paranitrophenol chloride, and one electron will be transferred from here to this one, and we will get the product, Cl chylated product, which is formed in 90% yield, and then chain reaction will again go on because of the formation of this radical anion of the alkyl. Then uh, this radical nucleophilic substitution is also effective in case of poor leaving groups, which were not removed by SN2 substitution at a tertiary carbon, because of steric reasons it was difficult for removal of these types of azide anions from the tertiary carbon. But with SAT mechanism or SRN1 mechanism, hexamethylene phosphoramide at room temperature in 8 hours converts these azides into Cl chylated products by SRN1 mechanism. So this azide ion is a poor leaving group, but a poor leaving group for SN2 substitution. But this can be easily removed when we use conditions of SRN1 reactions. Then synthesis of 2-isopropylamidine methyl 3-nitromidazole 1,2-a-pyridine. So this type of important potential pharmaceutical derivative that can be synthesized from using SRN1 technique. When these types of heterocyclic compounds, that nitro derivatives of pyridines, they are used and they are reacted with nitropropane derivatives of lithium in presence of methanol and sodium metal. Again, because of this mechanism we will get Cl chylated product. This carbon will get attached at this carbon, and this chloride ion will be removed, and we will get these types of Cl chylated products, and these can be easily transformed into these types of carbon-carbon double bonded compounds with the removal of nitro group in the presence of sodium lithoxide. And these products, they are very important, and they have use in potential pharmaceutical industry. Then another example is nitroaryl halide substitution, and this occurs via non-chain SRN mechanism. So as I have told you, there are only small examples which take place by non-chain mechanism. Otherwise, most of the examples of SRN1, they take place by chain mechanism. So here ortho substituted iodide in the case of nitrobenzenes, they react with these types of carbenes as nucleophiles, and again one electron will be transferred from here to this aryl iodide rather, aryl iodide, and radical anion of this aryl iodide will be formed. Then this radical anion will react with another molecule of nucleophile, and we will get the product like this. And here we can see that a single entity of the reactant will give us a single entity of the product, and hence this is a non-chain mechanism. So non-chain we have seen alkyl halide plus nucleophile gives us radical anion of the alkyl halide, and a radical of the nucleophile is formed. Then this dissociates into radical of the alkyl halide and iodide ion. Then this radical and this radical, they will join to give us the product, and halide ion will be formed. And in this halide, here is iodide ion, and this is a non-chain SRN1 mechanism. So this is the reference from where the mechanism of this reaction has been taken. In addition, some other books have been consulted for this uh, mechanism. Thank you very much.